Good morning. Good morning, awesome, awesome, beautiful crowd. Buenos días a todos. Gracias por venir. Qué bonito es el pueblo, ¿no? This is a beautiful crowd. My name is Marissa Nuncio. I'm the director of the Garment Workers Center. We are a proud member of the Los Angeles Coalition Against Wage Theft. This is the Los Angeles Coalition Against Wage Theft. We are worker centers, we're unions, we're community organizations, and we're proud allies. Our members know all too well what the realities of wage theft are. And we're all here with a very simple message today. We're here to say that wage theft is a crime. We are ready for a city ordinance that treats it as a crime. And we're excited that Council Members Cedillo and Koretz will be introducing a motion today. This is to draft an ordinance. This is an important step towards a very important and much needed resource for workers. Solo quería decir muchas gracias a todos por venir. Esta es la coalición de Los Ángeles contra el robo de salarios. Estamos muy emocionados de estar aquí hoy a lanzar una semana de acción en apoyo de una campaña por una ordenanza contra el robo de salarios. Nosotros, nuestra coalición, somos centros de trabajo, de trabajadores, sindicatos, organizaciones comunitarias y muchos aliados. Nosotros sabemos muy bien qué es el robo de salario. Nuestros miembros viven el robo de salario y estamos listos para una ordenanza que trata el robo de salario como un crimen. Estamos muy emocionados de tener miembros del concilio hoy, Cedillo y Koretz, que van a introducir una moción para empezar a escribir una ordenanza contra el robo de salarios. Muchas gracias a todos por estar aquí. Vamos a empezar con una invocación por el hermano Thomas Carey de la Iglesia del Epifanio. We're going to start this morning with an invocation by Brother Thomas Carey, Church of the Epiphany.
Let us pray. O God, to rob the salaries of your people is an offense, and to defraud the amount of the pay of your workers is an offense against you and against your people. Open, O Lord, the hearts of our leaders and people that we may follow your commandments and pursue justice, protect your people, that this city might be a city of light, of friendship, and of justice. O Señor, robar el sueldo de tu gente es una ofensa, y defraudar la cantidad del pago de tus trabajadores es una ofensa contra ti y contra tu pueblo. Abre, oh Señor, los corazones de nuestros líderes a seguir tus mandamientos, perseguir la justicia, proteger tu pueblo, para que esta ciudad sea una ciudad de luz y amistad y justicia. En tu nombre oramos, oh Señor. Amén.
Yes, Hermano Carey. Next up, we're going to have Council Member Koretz. Council Member has been a long-standing champion of worker rights, including a long-standing champion of this ordinance. We're very excited to have him speak today. El próximo va a ser el miembro del concilio, Paul Koretz. El señor Koretz ha sido un campeón por los derechos de trabajadores, incluso un campeón para esta ordenanza. Councilmember Koretz.
Good morning, everybody. Later this morning, Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo and I will have the honor of introducing a City Council motion calling for a local ordinance to address the wage theft crisis in Los Angeles. The wage theft crisis has had a profoundly negative impact on our society and on the city, hurting economically vulnerable workers, their families, and their communities. It's urgent that the City of Los Angeles do something about this very debilitating and devastating problem that afflicts so many hardworking people. Studies by the UCLA Labor Center have found that every week, low-wage workers in Los Angeles lose over $26 million that they're owed due to violations of our state's most basic wage and hour protections, including minimum wage, overtime, meal and rest breaks, and even being paid at all. That adds up to $1.4 billion per year. Wage theft is a huge problem nationally and in the state of California. Nationally, more than 65% of low-wage earners are victims of wage theft each week. Los Angeles has the highest rate of wage theft in the country. Nearly 80% of low-wage workers in LA experience wage theft. And I want to stress it's not just the workers that are hurt and hurt badly, but also the local businesses where those hard-earned dollars would have been spent. Now, I've been aware of this issue for many years. I did a bill in 2002 in the state legislature, which Gilbert Cedillo, who was my colleague then, also supported. And I did a motion in City Council in 2009. It's about time that we made this change because so many workers are having their lives being devastated. We shouldn't allow them to be cheated. And I have to say, at the state level, there were even associations of employers in some of the high wage theft industries that were the good guys that were actually paying their workers the appropriate amount, and they came in an association to beg the state to enforce properly so that they weren't disadvantaged by being honest and doing the right thing. And we have to do that kind of thing here as well. Wage theft has been a crime that's tough to remedy because there's no easy method for workers to recover their wages. And so unscrupulous and exploitive employers, of which sadly there are many, are able to get away with committing wage theft. If you steal from a store, you go to jail. But employers who cheat their workers out of their hard-earned wages usually get away with it. These bad apples know they can get away with it because the state's bureaucracy is too slow to root them out. Only 1 in 10 workers who even win a final judgment for their unpaid wages ever collects a dime in salary. It's important to note that a wage theft ordinance will be good for the many fair-minded and responsible businesses in this city, because it will protect responsible businesses from the unfair competition that too often occurs when unscrupulous businesses are able to cut costs by illegally cheating their employees. Bad actors who offer cheaper prices on the backs of their workers have lower business expenses, giving them an unfair advantage over other businesses that follow the law and pay their workers all of the wages that are due to them. This ordinance will level the playing field for all businesses in Los Angeles, especially in those industries where it's hardest for the ethical employers to compete. Today, Councilmember Cedillo and I, along with the Los Angeles Coalition Against Wage Theft, are calling for the creation of a local enforcement tool to give hardworking Angelinos a place to report wage theft so that we can put the bad actors out of business in the city of Los Angeles while protecting the workers that come forward from retaliation. It's for those reasons that I'm proud to join my good friend and colleague Gilbert Cedillo in introducing a motion today to support the creation of a wage theft ordinance in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Koretz. Gracias. Next, we will have the Councilmember Cedillo. Councilmember Cedillo has authored numerous worker rights and immigrant rights measures, both as a state assembly member and state senator. He has a rich history as a labor advocate, and we're very proud today to have him joining in this fight, continuing in this fight with Councilmember Koretz. El miembro de Concilio Cedillo también ha sido un campeón por los derechos de inmigrantes y trabajadores, incluso esa ordenanza. Estamos muy orgullosos de tener a este miembro del Concilio junto con nosotros hoy. Gracias.
I'm very happy to be here with the UCLA Labor Center, also with the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 770, and all the other groups who have joined us here this morning. Let's be very clear, there is a very obvious divide between wealth and poverty that characterizes this current economic recovery. we must understand this. A very clear divide between wealth and poverty that is characteristic of this economic recovery. And so we're here today to try to prevent a further divide. We're here today to try to say that when people work hard and they enter into an agreement, they should be paid for that agreement, that hard work should pay. The people who work hard in important sectors of our economy, in the service sector, that they should be paid a living wage. When agreements and commitments are made to pay these workers, they should be paid. Now let's be very clear, wage theft is very pervasive. And it takes place in ways that we don't necessarily see. It takes place when people don't pay the minimum wage. It takes place when people are asked to work 9, 10, 11, 12 hours and still make the same salary without overtime. It takes place in many instances where people aren't even paid for the services that they provide. That is what wage theft is all about. And it affects our economy because those workers who would contribute to the activity of our economy, who would buy goods and services, who would spend some of the resources on recreation, who would be people who contribute to the service economy, are unable to do that. They simply can't because they don't have enough money to do so. And so wage theft is one way of taking money out of workers and the middle class and creating a scenario where those with the most wealth continue to aggregate it. Let's be very, very clear. There's a growing divide between wealth and poverty. All economists will tell you that. And the ways to do this, to change that, to bridge that, is to make sure that workers and their salaries aren't stolen from them. Is to make sure that people have a living wage, to make sure that there's a minimum wage that pays for hard work. And so here in the City Council with my colleague Paul Koretz, we're very happy to introduce this ordinance to empower the city attorney to go after those who fail to fulfill the agreements that they make at the front end and to comply with the law. It's interesting that when people come here to work and they don't comply with laws like immigration, we throw them in jail. We separate their families. We create division. We're in the midst of this human rights crisis that exists at this very moment. At the very same time, we allow employers to exploit these conditions. And we do so to the detriment, I would say socially, and morally, and economically, to the detriment of our society. I'm very happy to be here this morning with my colleague Paul Koretz, and I anticipate greater success than we've had in the past. We will continue this struggle. We will continue these efforts to make sure that workers are paid a living wage, and hard work should pay. I thank you very much. Good morning.
Thank you, Councilmember. I just want to repeat one important thing that I heard, many important things that I heard the Councilmember say, but to add a little in Spanish, he said, quiero repetir algo que el miembro del concilio dijo en español, para traducir un poco, dijo que mientras que estamos en un crisis humano ahorita con el asunto de inmigración, también no podemos ignorar, no podemos pues cerrar los ojos que estamos en un momento, en un crisis, también con la explotación de trabajadores. No podemos dejar que los dueños de negocios están explotando a trabajadores igual así. Next, we're going to have a member of IDEPSCA. He's a day laborer from the Downtown Community Job Center, Juan Carlos Munguia. Para hablarnos, vamos a tener a un jornalero y miembro de IDEPSCA. Viene del Centro de Trabajo de Downtown. Se llama Juan Carlos Munguia.
¿Cómo están todos esta mañana? Bueno, antes que nada, antes que se me desaparezcan, gracias a Gilbert Cedillo y a Paul Koretz por estar aquí apoyando a esta causa. Y también gracias a cada uno de ustedes, a los carbacheros, a Kiwa y a todas las organizaciones que están aquí porque quieren apoyar esta causa. El trabajar es algo bien bonito, ¿no? Pero más bonito es cuando le dan su pago correcto a cada uno de nosotros, ¿verdad? Cuando vamos a trabajar y al final del día se nos paga completo. Desafortunadamente no siempre sucede así, ¿verdad? Hay casos donde las personas cuando van a trabajar, por una u otra razón no se les paga lo que a lo que se acordó y no terminan pues con un orgullo porque se les roba su salario. Pues estamos aquí el día de ahora porque queremos dejarles saber a nuestros oficiales elegidos que queremos ese apoyo, que se nos pague el saldo acordado, ¿verdad? Porque pues venimos aquí a este país para mejorar y para proveer para nuestras familias, ¿o no? Claro que se puede. Muchas gracias a cada uno de ustedes porque están aquí. Estamos pidiendo apoyo, ¿verdad? Que pase esta ordenanza porque ya basta con ese robo de salario. Ya basta con que no podamos proveer la cantidad adecuada para proveer para nuestras familias, porque nuestras familias se merecen lo mejor, ¿sí o no? ¡Sí! ¿Se puede? ¡Sí se puede! Gracias a cada uno de ustedes, gracias a cada organización que están aquí en este día, porque todos creemos en un saldo justo, ¿sí o no? ¡Sí! Es un orgullo para mí el ver tantas organizaciones, CARECEN, Chirla, Kiwasco. ¿Dónde están los carguacheros? A ver. Eso. Pero saben que a pesar de todo es algo bien hermoso el que podamos unirnos cada uno de nosotros y pelear bajo una misma causa. Una vez más, ¿se puede? ¡Sí se puede! Eso. Muchas gracias,
Juan Carlos' amazing words. He said, thank you to the council members for being here today and to the amazing allies and community organizations supporting this cause. He said, you know, working is a beautiful thing. It gives you pride, but if you're not paid, then you're robbed of that pride. He said, it's not always the case that you're able to have that pride in your work because your wages are stolen. And so we're here today to let our council members know that we need their support. We're here because we want to be working hard, we want to better our communities, and we want to better our families. So it's time to pass this ordinance. He said, ya basta, we've had enough with wage theft. We're unable to provide for our families, and our families deserve better. He said, sí se puede, yes we can, we believe in fair wages, we're here united under one cause, and we can do this. We're going to keep this awesome energy going. Next, we're going to have a film presented to you by the LA Coalition Against Wage Theft and produced by Brave New Films. It's a film on wage theft and why we need this ordinance. Do we have a few words from Brave New Films, or do you want to go right in? Okay.
Take it, Tim.
Solo para traducir, vamos a tener un video, vamos a mostrar un video ahorita que se trata de robo de salarios producido por Brave New Film.
Good morning. I just wanted to say thank you for this coalition, the amazing work that you guys have been doing. And I also just want to thank the families for coming out of the shadows and showing true courage here and speaking up on behalf of the troubles that they've gone through and sharing their stories with us. As you see in these videos, the stories were really hard for us to hear, and we're really happy and proud to be a part of this coalition and to be able to share these stories with the public and give a voice to these workers and these families. Thank you.
Dijo Tim Molina de Brave New Films, muchas gracias a los individuos y familias que hablaron y compartieron su historia en este video, que fue un orgullo compartir y hacer este video para dar voz a los trabajadores. Gracias.
Mi nombre es Noel Flores, yo trabajo para mi familia, yo trabajo con mis hermanos y ya tengo una hija. apoyar a mi hijo. Trabajé 12 meses, 3 horas, aquí hasta la semana. No me pagaron. Tuve que ir a varias oficinas para ganar comida. Para pagar mi esto, entonces, yo fui una víctima de todo el cuerpo. I'm a big fan of wage staff.
Estar viviendo de puras propinas es difícil mantener a la familia.
No pudieron hacer nada.
Hay una edición, un fallo por robo por 3.460. Aún así, ese necesita pagar. Me ofreció $80 para que yo cerrara el caso.
Even when a worker successfully wins a claim, only 17% actually see any return.
A pesar de haber ganado una demanda por $65,000, no hemos recibido un solo dólar de ese dinero.
Wage theft is a crime.
Tienen que pararlo.
Somos miles y miles de trabajadores que estamos en las mismas situaciones.
Necesitamos que la ciudad de Los Ángeles nos ayude a parar este robo de salarios.
Es un robo, es un delito y hay que parar eso.
Wage theft is a crime.
All right. Thank you so much to Brave New Films. You can find that at endwagetheft.com. So please go to that site to check out the video again. It's beautiful. Muchas gracias a Brave New Films por el video. Se puede encontrar el video en endwagetheft.com. Next, we're going to have Claudia Lopez from Mamitas Delights. This is a high road employer that is here in support of the wage theft ordinance. Vamos a tener a Claudia López de un restaurante, Mamitas Delights. Por favor.
Good morning, my name is Claudia Lopez. This is my sister, Stephanie Lopez, and my family and I own Mamitas Delights, a candy business and restaurant here in Los Angeles. I'm a member of RAISE. RAISE stands for Restaurant Advancing Industry Standards of Employers. I love being able to be a member of this beautiful community. I became an entrepreneur because I've always loved business and wanted to bring a bit of El Salvador and other Latin American countries to families here through our food and our candy. At Mamitas Delights, we work very hard at providing the best that we can through our food, to our service, through our candy. And I strongly believe that it starts with our people. It is not right when workers are being undercut of their wages. It not only hurts their families, but it affects our entire community. I am very blessed to have the opportunity to go after my American dream. But with that dream also comes responsibility. We have to acknowledge the hard work and sacrifices our employees make to help us run our business and open doors every day. It is only fair that we assure that each and every one of our employees get their hard-earned wages compensated. Many businesses would benefit from a measure that holds bad employers accountable when they break the law. I ask for an even playing field. I support the anti-wage theft ordinance because wage theft is a crime. Buenos días, mi nombre es Claudia Lopez y mi familia y yo somos dueños de Mamitas Delights, un negocio de dulces y comida aquí en Los Ángeles. Nosotros apoyamos una ley como esta en contra del robo de salarios, no solo porque ayudaría a empleados afectados, sino a toda la comunidad. Esto es necesario para el bienestar de nuestra comunidad y nuestros negocios. Gracias.
Thank you, Mamitas Delights. Gracias a Mamitas Delights. Well, this is going to round out our press conference. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. I think, we want to close with a really strong message, again, that we are here because we are saying enough to wage theft. Wage theft is a crime. It hurts hardworking individuals. It hurts families. It hurts our communities, and it's time to treat it as a crime. Wage theft must be stopped. And we're excited to launch our week of action here with you all today. We're going to be protesting this week. We're going to be watching videos. We're going to be doing a lot to support workers, and please join us. You can also sign our petition. That's how you can support today. If you go to endwagetheft.com, you'll find our petition. Please help us circulate it. Please get it out there. Let your voice be known. Workers need your support. And finally, we're going inside today. We're going inside with all this beautiful community, all this beautiful support, and we're showing who we are. We're showing that it's time, we're ready for this ordinance, and we're here with all of our beautiful energy to bring it forward. So please join us inside. Solo para cerrar, quiero decir muchísimas gracias a todos por venir a esta comunidad tan bella. Nuestro mensaje es muy simple hoy, es muy fácil. El robo de salarios es un crimen y ya basta con el robo de salarios, ¿no? Y estamos listos ya para una ordenanza que trata el robo de salarios como un crimen. Estamos emocionados a lanzar esta semana de acción. Vamos a estar en las calles protestando, apoyando a trabajadores, educándonos con videos. Estamos circulando una petición que se puede encontrar en endwagetheft.com y vamos a entrar hoy. Vamos a traer toda la energía que tenemos aquí afuera y vamos a ir adentro y hablar con nuestros miembros de concilio y pedir su apoyo hoy en pasar una ordenanza contra el robo de salarios. Muchísimas gracias a todos.